There's a time I tried, mentoring these young tucks, and I went to some high school. And that was my first experience and probably my last, so to speak. I felt like I would really speak to these kids, and indeed I was able to a point whereby they felt like they're very comfortable to open up to me. They brought their troubles to me. And then I was like, okay, what next after I take all these troubles? What will I do to them? What kind of help do I give them? Sure. And that is the kind of help that we want to get this.
Absolutely.
Then I realized that, because I didn't have a manual at some point in time, then I didn't know what to tell them. And then I said, I quit. I quit until that time I'll be ready. So I'll be here to learn also. And we start off with a discussion, preparing for life after school. He says, ni kawaida tu. Is it normal to say ni kawaida tu, Jane?
I think maybe the expectations he had haven't been met, or maybe I think it's less than a month since they cleared.
Yes.
So basically it's still on the transition part of it. So I think people will feel different. There are those who will be excited. Yeah. I remember during our time we'll be very much excited.
So much excitement.
Some will even ban books and all that, such kind of things. But I think it depends with the perspective they had towards school again. Right. There are those who are excited to go to school. There are those who are excited. There are those who maybe had they were frustrated in school. So it depends. It seems he enjoyed school.
I went to pick my nephew from school the other day. He just cleared Form 4 or 4th form. And I went to the dormitory, and I'm telling you, it was terrible. It was terrible. It was terrible. It was a clear picture of people who were eagerly waiting for this moment. It was a mess. I'm afraid the people who will be going back to January would be like, oh, this is not the case. I mean, what gets a student to that point where they look at this much and they assume that now this is the end of it, that they would do even something that is not necessary to do. Like, sincerely, this is a mattress that is good, that can be used somewhere else, that can be carried home. But this guy has just decided to sit down with the scissors and slice the mattresses to nothing, slice the T-shirts, slice the sweaters and all that. Like, what kind of excitement? Is it really a necessary excitement?
I think there's something wrong with us. We are fond of talking to. We are mentoring, but people are talking to the youth.
Right.
The 21st youth today are fed up of talking to. People go to school and say, I talked to. But did you make an impact to them? Right. It's the time to change our narrative from talking to, motivating them to go where? Yeah. To form them. We need a formation in this country. We need a formation to the young people. And that's why they will say it's kawaida, kumaliza. Because we are not packaging them. They are not packaging themselves. They are waiting, things will come. They are saying there are no jobs. Moses was asked, what are you holding? What do you have? Right. Have you even sent yourself for attachment somewhere? Even volunteer somewhere and get experience. So me, I can say there's a lot for the young people in this country. Right now we have 900 as we talk in Kaha West. And we're trying to, it's all about to come out from my mommy idea and daddy idea. Right. And to realize that my mother and my father and the country are just supporters. They're just people holding me, but life is mine. Okay. So how do I package myself? How do I frame myself to be viable, to be necessary, to be felt by others? Okay. Nobody will find you where you are.
All right, that's interesting. Shirima, before I come to you, let's talk to Arnold a bit. Arnold, having gone through that campus life, sometimes you get to campus, and now you've tasted that, the citizenship aspect. And you technically get fear of coming out of campus. I don't know whether it just happened to me. Because then you have realized that, oh, well, it's not as easy as I thought. Now the parents are not holding your hands as 100% as they would while you were in high school and everything. So in a way, you are half-half. You are on your own, and equally there's that support. So being on your own and this feeling that, okay, once you're out of campus, then it's all about you and you figuring out your life. Sometimes style ya kina Babu Owino unaweza kaa hapo 50 years ukisemanga unafanya hii degree na hii because of the fear of the unknown huko nje. How has it been like for you? And of course, as you interact with students here and there, I mean, do you suppose then that as a society, we've braced them well? Forget about fourth form. Have we braced them, even the students who are at campus level, to realize that yes, you can be out there without your degree, with your degree and fail to get a job? Then what next?
I think our society, we pretend a lot.
Yes.
I don't know. Have you ever prepared for dismissal? No. You are not expecting.
No.
Are you getting these situations in life? Nobody prepares for them. And for me, I usually tell people, if you are in university, enjoy the university life.
Okay.
Are you getting? If you are in high school, enjoy the high school life.
Right.
and be prepared that after high school, there will be a transition.
So how do you get to enjoy while preparing yourself
Exactly.
at the same time?
This is what you do. You don't, you know what you do. You expect that after high school, I should be sure that my parents will not be giving me some fare.
Yeah.
I get it.
Right.
So those are things you need to prepare yourself. But I think for me, I usually think like, you know, we want to pretend like, especially our elders, that their life was perfect and there was a plan and it was structured. This life is never structured. You face things as they come.
All right.
Because the moment you prepare, that's the moment you have some expectation and so on, and then you get disappointment.
Would you
When
rather
you're
get
preparing-
disappointed after being prepared, or just get
You
disappointed
see,
because you never
this is
prepared at all?
This is very clear, the things you need to understand.
Yes.
Like from campus, you need to know, there are those people who, for example, some of us have seen, have jobs before they clear campus.
Yeah.
And then there are those ones who cleared campus and they have not, after 5 years, they don't have a job.
Yeah.
And there are those ones, yeah, who have started business. You have started business and it has failed. Because we have too much expectation, we are demanding too much from the young people, then that pressure comes to you, then you start having depression. Oh, you know, I finished campus, you know, this one, and so on. Forget about it.
Right.
There is a transition. First of all, I shall tell the campus guys, forget about paying the help. Because you get out
Man,
and they are telling you.
don't even speak about it.
You get it? These things you need just to, I think for me, I usually say, stop expecting too much.
Right.
You'll never get disappointed. And when you get out and you find, way, there's no job, you understand, you know what, it takes time, mine is coming. But what do I need to do right now?
Okay.
This situation for me, I find them, let's work with the situation and, you know, deal with them as they come. Because sometimes when you expect too much, you get disappointed.
That's a catch-22, I'd say, and I think I'd love to hear from the mentors, because I am assuming, even when you prepare for your examinations,
Yeah.
you know, like, the expectations are almost automatic. Nimesoma, so I suddenly expect to pass. Like, sincerely speaking, yani hata kama hutaki, you just find yourself getting to that point where, and of course, we'll get to hear what the mentors think, what their perspective is in regards to this. But Shirima is as young. I don't know whether the first time I interviewed you, you were still in high school or what. You're still in high school. And then he's exited the stage and coming to this world. And he would probably tell us that he's come from a setup where, you know, there's so much, of course, drama. There's so much that would drive you away from the purpose, from the focus and all that. But look at him. He's focused on this. How hard has it been to sail through? And do you suppose, as tough as it becomes, you are in a position to still soldier on and say, it's okay, I'll soldier on, eyes on the prize? Or there are times that you sort of feel like, you know what, why not forget about the prize and, you know, take what is here?
You know, one thing in life, there is something that I always say. There is a reason why you're called Linda, and there is a reason why I'm called Shirima. In as much as I try my best, maybe even I go for a surgery, in order for me to look like Linda, I will never ever become Linda. You see, that's the problem where most of us have missed the point. Most of the time we want to look like the other people, not knowing that hii life ni journey. Na kwa hii life, we are each one of us in our own races. And it's for you ukwe strong and courageous in order for you to reach the finish line. Lakini unapata mara mob in our society, mavijana wengi, we always want to compete na wase wengi. Tunaona like, huyu life yake, amekladi, amefanya nini, pia mimi, I want to look like him, forgetting that mimi siko level ka yake. So the first thing, I think, is first of all, ukijirealize, ujue like, this is your own life. I remember nikiwa high school, principal yetu alikuwa anatuambia, someni kijana, maisha ni yako, maisha ni yako. And then mavijana wengi unapata like, walikuwa wanacheka sana because wanaona, what is this old man saying? Lakini the time unatoka hapa nje, ndio the hard reality inakam inakupata. Ndio unakam kujua like ukiwa shule, uko na geri, you have all those genge yako, mneza make noise, lakini huku nje, it's you individually. That's the sad reality yenye sisi kama machali na ma teenagers, my youth, we have to discover for you to move forward.
All right, I think